ICRT FM 100, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the midday show. It is now 2:32 in the afternoon, and here we are at this juncture of the programming. We always invite a couple of guests. We aren't always successful inviting guests to the program, but today we are with two lovely young ladies here in the studio with me, Annie and May. Hello, girls. How are you?
Hi.
Okay, I just sort of did briefly introduce you guys as students currently in the GMBA program at交大University, right? And thank you for coming, by the way.
Thank you so much for having us.
It's always good to know that I'm not just talking to myself anymore. And today, we're here to talk about the GMBA program at交大. And you've been there for how many years already?
1 year and a half.
Okay, and
almost.
How long is the whole duration of the program, actually?
It's 2 years total.
So you're almost done then?
Yes, we're in our third semester. We have one more semester after this, and we're graduating.
All right.
If we write the thesis.
Which, by the way, you two are working on together. Is that right? Or is that some of the projects that we were just talking about? Because these two say they're group mates, and they have a project ongoing right now. Is that the thesis, or the thesis is personal?
A thesis is a personal assignment that's very dear to you, and you'd want to go this route professionally, but we are also working on a group project together. We are going to present on this evening as well.
Oh, really? Okay, so here's your little practice for public speaking for your presentation tonight. And of course, the thesis is sort of indicative of your tenure as a student at any program, right? So it sort of opens the door for whichever direction you want to go in the future. But what about where you came in as? Now, before the GMBA program, you two must have experiences working already. So May, who is not a California girl, by the way, she's from Houston, Texas, right?
Correct.
And since we were just talking about Morgan Freeman and she was listening to that, he almost didn't make it to your city.
It must have been Houston that protected him, right?
the patron saints of Houston, whichever one that might be. All right, so May, what were you doing before you entered GMBA?
Well, I graduated with a degree in art history and East Asian studies, and I went into curatorship at art museums. And at that time, I felt it was unfulfilling because I felt like what we were doing in the curating department, people couldn't relate to. Patrons and audiences were coming to the art museums, and they sort of felt a disconnect in these exhibitions. They didn't feel like they knew enough about art, and I felt like we weren't doing enough to educate them. So I left that field and went into education, which I loved dearly for many years. And I realized that I wasn't changing paths when I left art history and went into education. That's who I was all along. I like teaching people about things. I like digging deep into history and unfolding stories. So now I'm in the GMBA program concentrating in marketing, and my thesis is focusing on how to bring in audiences for art museums.
Is that what the title of the thesis is called? Or
the title
paraphrased, of course.
Paraphrased.
What's it actually called?
The actual title is Redefining Audience Relationship Management Models.
Interesting. You know, it's funny how life has a way of showing you what you really want to do in a roundabout sense.
Exactly.
You know, sometimes you got to take, I wouldn't say the wrong path, but a different path to find out what you want, what you've always liked was only an element of that.
Yeah,
path.
like it's like everything you've done in the past are all these dots, and then once it clicks, you find the line that's connecting all of these dots together.
Exactly. So from arts to education, and now sort of incorporating that into business, of course, because MBA programs or even GMBA programs are usually about business.
Right.
So turning that into a business, and just before she came in, I was reading her profile, and you took a class or a project called niche marketing. What is niche marketing? Can you explain
niche marketing is sort of a concept I've applied to all of my projects at GMBA, and it's more focusing on small businesses and protecting ideas not becoming too commercial, protecting small business groups' interests, protecting small audiences' interests, for example, in art museums, hanging on to that and not letting it become too mainstream.
Yeah. It's almost like you got to know the business to protect what you love from business, in a sense. And arts, I got to say, I mean, I don't understand it very well. A lot of people don't understand very well, but that's exactly what you do, to educate people. And Annie, on the other side, is also not a California girl. She is from Taiwan, right?
Yeah.
Whereabouts in Taiwan?
I'm from Kaohsiung.
Okay,
Taiwan.
高雄人. Welcome to ICRT.
Thank you.
你一开始是读什么的? What was your study at very first?
I was study journalism in the National Zhengzhi University.
Oh, really? So we're kind of in the same. We have interest in sort of the same ideas.
Yeah. I think
Okay,
so.
and what happened after that?
And after that, I was an international journalist in a non-profit organization for 3.5 years.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and then after the job kind of bring me to a lot of countries, and I went to Africa, Europe, Asia, many places. And then after, I think, it's really great that you can walk through and see so many people interviewing them.
Yeah.
And afterward, I think like there is something more I want to do. I want to like be in managerial levels to learn more how to manage in a bigger pictures.
Right.
Yeah. So I just think it's time before I'm getting too old to go to MBA program.
Well, but you spent, your earlier days, of course, very efficiently. Because 22 something countries you said, right? 20 something countries you visited, and that is certainly an experience that you can use for the future. But now, GMBA. Now, this is sort of the next step for your careers, for your vocational choices. And so, what has GMBA program in general done for you too? Maybe we'll start with Annie.
GMBA is a very good program for me because if I want to spend the minimum money and to go to a really like a multinational culture and multinational friends in Taiwan, then GMBA is an option. And besides, there was in cooperation with the ITI, International Trade Institute before, so I kind of was in a dual program at the same time.
Okay.
So I can learn more, and then I can meet so many friends from Peru, Jordan, United States, friends, a lot of places, and then I can kind of having like a lot of conversation about everything. We talk about a lot of political issues, economic issues, and you know everything. It's like when I was abroad, I was talking and having conversation with other people as well. I feel like I'm in a global village when I was in NCTU.
So you're sort of building your global connections even while you're still studying in the program, right? And I think GMBA programs for Jiaoda is one of those where you study in one country, but you actually get certificates in multiple countries. Is that right? Is that just here in Taiwan or also for other parts of the world?
The school has alliance with other universities, so you can apply for it.
Okay.
And if you get it, you can also get a certificate like finance in the United States, etc., or the management degree from France. Like we have it this year.
So you're looking at more parts of the world where you can explore, even though you've already visited 20-something countries. Now, this is for Annie. She, of course, has spent time sort of traveling abroad. But for May, you've actually spent time living and growing up in different countries. Is that right? Or at least with different cultures in the family?
Yes, with different cultures.
Okay, so sorry, go ahead and explain your origin and where you've
Well,
studied.
my family is originally from southern China, and my parents were born in Vietnam. And after the Vietnam War, they moved to America, where I was born in Houston, Texas. And so I've lived all throughout the U.S. working for art museums. And then when I made the transition to education, I picked Taiwan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you two are here to stay now? Or at least for the program.
Potentially.
We will see what the future has held for you guys. But in terms of the whole learning process, maybe can you explain a little bit for folks who are already interested in Jiaoda's GMBA programs?
Sure. Jiaoda is really going to open many doors for you, not just in terms of professional opportunities, social relationships as well. Also, like Annie said, we have students from so many different countries and backgrounds. It's really good and refreshing to hear their point of view and learn what it is that they want to do after they complete this program, whether it is to stay in Taiwan, transcend the classroom, go back to their country, do something to help their country, or help define what it is that makes their country special, what they can offer for their country, or what their country can offer for the world.
That sounds like a Reagan speech, isn't it? Anyway, continue.
Well, I think it's a really good program for anyone who is doubtful about what they're doing now, but knows that they need an academic push.
Yeah.
It's a very general program with very good curriculum and good professors who are going to basically force you to find that path.
Right.
And I think we all are.
Yeah, and the program can be really tough.
Yeah, I'll bet. It seems like, Annie, at this point of your career choice, anything could still lead you into something else, right? Like we talked about the transitions May's already had. We talked about the transitions Annie's already had. This is like a postgraduate opportunity, or even a postmaster, a post-PhD opportunity for you to learn something more about what you really want and explore further. And you guys have pretty good internship program as well. Some of them will lend you very important jobs here in Taiwan. Maybe that's why you said you don't know if you'll stay in Taiwan, because of course there certainly are that opportunity. But like you said, it opens the door for your future. So what do you think is the future for you two? If not in Taiwan, what will you be doing outside of GMBA? You will be, May, you will be continuing with your arts education?
Yes, I will probably get right back into the art museums, probably working for marketing departments.
Okay.
Either that or working with a small brand and helping them to protect their brand, define their customer.
Annie, will you be working for ICRT in years to come?
Yeah, I hope so.
Really? Okay, you're more than welcome to come back, of course.
Oh, thank you. And as I say, I think it's really tough for the program of GMBA Institute. I didn't know that it was so many courses, and then so you can learn really a lot. I think I got what I get is more than I expected. And also, professor, they highly encouraged us to go for internship. And before I was thinking wow, it's so difficult to find an internship. But before they have to find, everyone has to find internship abroad. Taiwanese have to find internship abroad, and the foreign international students have to find the internship in Taiwan.
Right.
Yeah, which is really a challenging thing. And also, I'm really glad that I have the opportunity, and the professor, they encourage us to go, to let us to have the opportunity to go for a trial. Yeah. So
aside from the academic challenges, it seems like it's forcing you to make that social intra-national connection as well, right? So opening your, it's an eye-opening experience, opening a horizon as well. So GMBA program with Jiaoda, you guys can look up all the information you need simply by typing down on Google, Jiaoda and GMBA program. And today we have May and Annie come into the show. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having us.
So we started this sort of today's chat with a request from Annie. That was Katy